how the artist's background shapes their art. Webster tells us that art is something that is created with imagination and skill, and that is beautiful or that expresses important ideas or feelings. But everyone has different ideas of what art is.
Art is like an outward expression of the inner self, both for the artist and the person observing the art.
Art is very loud.
Art is an expression of passion. It's the fire within.
Didn't say what I wanted, but did you? I couldn't say what I was feeling.
If this is true, why do we, as people, feel the need to group certain kinds of art together? Why do we classify one type of art as fine and the other as folk? Maybe this is due to the realization that background directly affects the style and type of art that each artist produces.
What's keeping you away from me?
A great example of this would be Lonnie Holley.
Stay unspoken.
Holley was born in Birmingham, Alabama in 1950 to Dorothy May Holley Crawford and author James Bradley. He was his mother's 7th child. However, Lonnie Holley would grow and eventually count 27 brothers and sisters.
Unspoken words.
This being more than any one mother can handle.
Are they the same?
As a result, Holley was separated from his mother as a baby and lived with another woman in Ohio until he was a toddler. The woman was an alcoholic. However, when she brought Holley back to Alabama, she sold him at age 4 for a pint of whiskey. The woman at the other end of the deal, the third person Holley is known as a mother, was called Big Mama. Holley lived with Big Mama and Big Daddy, who often left for days at a time. He was 7 years old and he walked into Big Mama's room to find her unmoving. For the next 3 days, he would assume she was sleeping and continued to bring her food. Big Daddy returned to find that Big Mama was actually dead. He began to take out his anger on Lonnie. But Lonnie had never even heard the word dead before. For years to come after this, Big Daddy was abusive. At one point, Holley tried so desperately to escape that in his flight he was hit by a car that brought a 3-month hospital stay. To make ends meet and to get away from his default father, Holley began working at an extremely young age. He picked up paper from the Alabama State Fairgrounds. He does not describe these as hardships though. They formed him. They formed his work and everything he came to know. My life, he says, has led up to my life as an artist today. What I've learned to do is understand materials. I call it materials, not trash, garbage, or junk. It's not difficult to see how a young man abandoned by 3 mothers in 7 years would learn to see the value in things other people throw away. What is surprising, though, is how effectively Holley can transfix others into seeing things through his viewpoint, even for just a moment. Holley has learned how to find a diamond in the rough and how to turn his hardships into art. This art is folk. This art is expression. And this, like all types of art, can be felt.